Why don't you give me a sign? Like the sea that leaves a trail along that shore. It's not your problem, it's mine. Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Speak freely.
It's Mary. Our daughter's ears are deaf to the Lord's preachings. She continues to engage in acts with the housemaid.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
All right, Edoardo, it's wonderful to speak to you again. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So, last time we spoke, your directorial debut, The Last Thing Mary Saw, was at Fright Fest. Now it's going to Shudder. What's the collaboration been like?
With Shudder, I mean, it's been awesome. You know, we kind of, it's been a few months of, you know, working on the fun stuff, honestly, like all the posters and the trailers, and kind of planning a strategy on how to best talk about the movie before the movie comes out and people can make their own opinion on it. And so it's been great. I mean, I'm dealing with people who know about the genre and have such a respect for the genre that it's just kind of, you know, it's just kind of this wonderful back and forth and a great conversation. And, you know, they're big fans of the movie and I couldn't be more grateful. So yeah, I'm feeling super, super lucky.
Awesome. So what are you allowed to tell us about The Last Thing Mary Saw to entice Shudder fans to watch it on the #1 streaming service for horror and drama?
Yeah, of course. I mean, so The Last Thing Mary Saw, well, just to give kind of like a brief overview, it is, I guess, like a mystery, horror, drama, thriller. It is set in 1843, so it is a period piece set in New York State, and it essentially revolves around the story of Mary, this young woman who's under the investigation after the sudden departure of her grandmother, and her recollection of the events of the days that preceded the tragedy, and the investigation kind of shed more light on the goings of the house that seem to be affected by forces that are not only human, and, you know, things are not entirely what they seem to be. And so yeah, it's you know, we've been getting some very good responses. I think people who are looking for a movie that kind of keeps them on their toes from beginning to end, or kind of like it gives them a little bit of a puzzle, and that they can kind of solve as it goes, because it is a very quiet movie. It's a movie that doesn't necessarily, I wanted to make a movie that doesn't reveal its cards very much all the way throughout and until the very end. So I think people who are looking to engage with like a very kind of atmospheric, kind of somber horror puzzle to solve, they're gonna dig it, hopefully.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure they will. The Fright Fest audience dug it, so there's some overlap there. So your central performances of Isabel and Stephanie are fantastic. Were they your first choices with casting the roles of Eleanor and Mary?
They were the first two roles that we cast. Mary came first, obviously, because she's the main protagonist of the movie. And yeah, I think, they you kind of throw some names around, you put some names on the board, and they were pretty much like the ones that I was aiming for, both of them. So yeah, we definitely got into conversations with them pretty early on, and I think once Stephanie got interested in the project, which I was super stoked by. I think Isabel followed right after. They had a rapport relationship that that preceded the movie. They had worked on a couple of things together. They had been friends for a little while. They kind of been around the same projects, living in the both in LA. And so I think once Isabel had heard that Stephanie was in it, and we reached out to Isabel to try to get her involved, I think a big part of wanting to be a part of this movie, she'll tell you this, was, you know, the opportunity to work with Stephanie, who was a fantastic actor. And like I said, very good friends of hers. So yeah, I mean, their chemistry kind of is what makes the movie and the story work. Like I said, it is a very quiet movie. It's a movie that relies on the unspoken way more than the spoken. And so having two people with that degree of chemistry and that ability to act that chemistry quietly was essential. And so yeah, I was so lucky to be able to work with those two actors. Yeah, they were fantastic.
Yeah, they are. They're very exciting and talented. Do you see more collaborations with them in the future?
Oh, of course, yeah. If they'll let me, yeah, absolutely. I would make more movies, many more movies, in fact, with them. They're two wonderful actors, very talented, and also just great people, very inspiring to work with. You know, this was my first movie that I made, my first feature film. And so, you know, there is a necessary learning curve that comes with it, and also learning and knowing how to just not only do certain things, but like approach the experience from a place of levity and like letting go of the stress, you know, because it's a very high stress environment to be on a film set. And so they were just kind of wonderful. They sort of took my hand a little bit, definitely, helped me through the stress and helped me through all the difficulties of a tight shoot. So just two great actors, two great people. I would love to work with them again. Absolutely.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the casting process of Rory Culkin like, and what made him perfect for the intruder?
Rory's role was a bit of a search, probably a longer search than Mary and Eleanor. I think you know, his character is, without revealing too much, I mean, he's one of the darker characters of the movie. He is, you know, he does pretty despicable things, and he had an overall kind of, I mean, his character is defined as the intruder. He is someone who intrudes with and aims to harm as much as, you know, to take advantage from the situation. So it is very hard, I think, to portray a character like that in a very two-dimensional way, where whoever does it kind of leans into the darkness and the evilness of it, and sort of explodes on those two things. But the thing about Rory was he had this ability of portraying this very like evil, despicable, dishonest character with integrity. You know, like for us, it was always about what makes this person the way that he is, because I think it is more interesting to observe evil from that angle. It's like, you know, to look at a person, to look at a character who is not born evil, but who's being made evil by the life that he or she has had. And I think Rory was just the perfect actor who could marry the weirdness and the oddities and the craziness with the personal trauma. He just had that, and he connected with that very, very well. And as soon as he and I spoke about it, because he didn't do any readings, or he didn't do an audition for it, we met up and we talked about it, and I knew that he was just latching on to the right things. And for us, the work was, you know, this is a person of violence whose violence has been like bred into him, and so let's find the triggers, let's find the starting point, and let's stay with him, you know, and let's portray this person with as much integrity as possible, because I think only that way you get a true experience of evil. Because yeah, so he was great at that. He really latched on to that, and so we knew that we could work with each other.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good like that. He's very, very good, very talented.
He's awesome.
He is, absolutely. Do you have any memories from the set that will stick with you?
Yeah, the fact that, I mean, we shot it in December 2019, which saying it now, of course, given that COVID pretty much started to change the world in January, you know, it just sounds like the kind of swan song a little bit. So it's the memory of it is very much impacted by what happened afterwards. I remember it was a very cold December. We were shooting on Long Island in front of the Sound, so in front of the water, and it was very cold. And my cinematographer and I, and my production designer and my costume designer too, we were all very specific about the period details. So you would step into set in this period appropriate house with all candle lights, and everybody was wearing these very beautiful and yet uncomfortable clothes. And I think the whole experience was to really step into like a different era from, like, you know, 150 to 100 years ago. And so it was really, I remember shooting for some days where we had to black out the windows to shoot night scenes for more than the daylight would have allowed us to. And you would just spend days doing that, and then you go out and it's like 3 p.m. and you kind of forgot about it. And it's and you know, there are cars and phones, and so it was all these weird experiences. Sometimes the actors would bring their phones on set to kind of take photos of their costumes and all, and it was just so jarring to see these very period appropriately dressed actors just kind of being on Twitter. And it was, all those little moments were very, very strange. Like, you kind of fall into a void when you shoot a movie. And I think when you shoot a period piece, like, it's just a deeper void.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you working on at the moment that you're allowed to talk about?
Allowed to talk about, I'm not sure, but I have a few things in the pipeline where now I'm focusing on kind of staying within the folklore period piece sort of horror drama genre. So I have something else in the works that goes down that lane, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about it more. But definitely you'll see me play with the same genre, a similar tone and atmosphere. Hopefully soon enough. That's as much as I can say.
Wonderful. We look forward to that. And just finally, what does the future hold for The Last Thing Mary Saw?
Well, you know, we are at this point, checking on my calendar, we are premiering on Shudder in about 5 days, 6 days. So on January 20th, we'll be out in the US, Canada, the UK, New Zealand, and Australia. So that's going to be the first step, and hopefully soon enough, you know, more parts of the world will get to see it. I'm from Italy, so I'm really hoping that the movie will get a platform to be seen by my Italian family and friends. So hopefully there's more to come on that. But yeah, definitely, you know, looking forward to 6 days from now when the English speaking world will get to finally see the movie. I'm super excited.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that. And thank you so much for taking time to speak to me today. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Marc.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
Not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. I'm here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca, with the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels. It's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you around Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.